Check, check. Yeah, so what's up? What's up? Welcome back. I know Pastor is not around much these days, but today we're going to run a quick one here. We got SMJF and ALBT as the two that I'm watching at here. SMJF, not too bad, 46%. Started moving up like 5 minutes ago. Looks decent. The people were asking for a stream here in the chat since the Mighty wasn't able to go today, so I said, let's do it. There's 30 seconds to the bell. SMJF, it seems fairly volatile for now. As long as volume continues to get into it, there could be more of an opportunity here. So I'm going to keep an eye. Small size first, as usual. It's pulling back a little bit to start here. Lows of mid-20s. ALBT from 16 to 25. ALBT, maybe it might be a little better to start here. Although we are in the first minute. The volume has been really, there's been decent volume, but the range has been really tight. The range has been really tight, so we'll have to see if it opens up. No trades yet. But 17 to 25 is definitely decent. We'll see. SMJF back to 20 to 30. ALBT coming lower towards the lows of the consolidation here. But retesting the low of day. Not quite holding up 22. So that one is going back down. Decent bounce there to view up. Nothing obvious as of yet, though. BFLY is being mentioned here in the chat. BFLY. So break of 422 up to 450. ALBT back over 22, pushing up a little bit. I'm going to throw out a starter on BFLY and look to add a little bit more if it keeps dropping. For the red to green, of course. ALBT, you know, it's not really holding up as well for an uptrend. We're kind of like up and down. So watching the current consolidation on BFLY. We do have a new candle on the 5-minute now. I'm going to add right there over 40 and watching to see if it wants to retest through 56 for the new high. The other one, ALBT, really struggling, man. It is at 109. Over 50 definitely could be an add. Over 50 could be interesting here for the new high if it has what it takes. Will we see a full-on red to green? I'm willing to buy more aggressively here through 50. I'm going to try it. The halt is at 81. We're flirting with the highs. Okay, there's 60. Not too bad. That was a good pullback, right? Pretty decent pullback right there. 65. I think I added like 600 shares at 50. Still using a little smaller size, but hey, Zay, way to go with the trade there, man. That one was pretty good. Still holding like 16 shares here. Will the next pullback hold up just as well? That's the question. It might be good to keep an eye here to see. I'm going to sell my last couple of shares here. So it's possible that it could hold up fairly high, being that the previous highs were 50. Time, there's still 2 minutes in the candlestick here in 5. HCTI hitting scans. Doesn't really look that good. Curling off the lows. If it breaks over 70 right here, is it worth it? I think it might be a little too risky. Some people might take it though. There's been like a tight consolidation, 60, 66. If you're watching on YouTube, I know I've been in the depths with posting videos and going live. I don't want to say that I'm sorry because, you know, I'm a mess right now, really. But I've been all right. I've been okay. The past hour has just been in the quiet. That's the best way I can describe it. Lows of 60 and well, we're back at 70 here. There's a new candlestick coming on the 5-minute chart here. Will it be enough to get us through 70? But the candlestick is opening high, so anything down is going to be a red candle on the bigger time frames. Let's see. I mean, it looks pretty decent. Can this stock get up to $5 over time? Was that it? Maybe that was it. Wow. I'm not in there. So that pullback was even tighter than I would have thought. I was hoping we'd see like mid 50s, low 50s, but that might have been it for that pullback. The breakout trade, you know, we'll see here. So through 70, we're seeing 75. Some sellers at 75. Not too big though. I'm having internal questions about this stock here. Like, I need to see more upside potential, more range to the upside. I need to see 75, 80, 85, 90. Not breaking out by 5 cents. There's 76. If we're not able to move like how we just moved, you know, I guess I did miss the dip, but the breakout was only 5 cents. The name of the game for me is to get green and get out. So might be getting out here soon. Nothing else really seems to be very good, so I'm back on the sidelines. You know, with holding longer for me, the float hasn't really been too much of an issue, but it still sucks when stocks are not able to have range and be volatile, right? Like trying to adjust to them and like trade slightly bigger floats. But it's definitely not the same, right? You know, hopefully we hold up here. This double bottom could be good. But it's still extended on the 5-minute chart, so sidelines for me, sidelines. I do think we will see more volatility again. You know, yesterday we saw something, right? Yesterday we saw something, which was good. And, you know, if we see more of that consistently, then we know exactly what to expect. NDRA hitting the scans. I should have live stream in a general chat here in the chat room. $56. If it breaks down $56, then you know could be a bigger pullback coming here. Because we are extended on the 5, you know, I'm a little bit more skeptical to the trade, but it's holding up for now. 5-cent bounce right there. Or more like 9-cent bounce. Like areas like this, right? Like could I be slamming 5,000 shares right here and like looking for a 10-cent bounce? But it just seems like there's just so much risk, you know, with how the stocks are like holding up. But there's $500 there. It's there. It's still there. Like opportunities are still there. NDRA halted. That could provide some opportunity. How is the volume looking and what's the float? Let's see. $1 million float or less, which looks good. Is the headline from today? Okay, looks like they're producing some sort of technology for a clinical study, MRI level results at the point of patient care. I'm even checking news these days, I tell you. It seems like the headline is from today. I gotta double check on that. It says 8 a.m. Eastern time. Volume. Volume per 1 minute candle has been about 200,000 shares, which is not that much. Daily chart. Everything as usual, curling up off the very lows. Nothing really at all-time highs. Damn, I can't even get like a zoom on this thing. Anyhows, it's curling off the lows. It must have had quite a couple of splits. Yep. Jeez. Companies like this, man. It's definitely a weaker company for sure, but they might have good news, which is, which could turn the tide temporarily for a day or two. But the volume is not what I would like, so I think I'll leave it alone. And if volume comes in on this resumption, after the resumption, as more traders see it on their scanners, the spreads will get a little tighter, which will mean a little less risk. And if there's a pattern, if we trade with candlesticks and not just halt up again, then there could be something. 77 for BFLY. So 51 and 40 seconds for resumption. So there's about a minute and some change for NDRA. Hold on, let me double check this thing. Just make sure I'm not going crazy. Okay, yeah, okay, we're good, we're good. BFLY 85. Definitely showing a little bit more range here. $30 seconds to that resumption. NDRA. $568. $540 for lows there. Not terrible, but also not good. Not great. There's sellers at 80 area on NDRA. If it gets through and gets over 6, then it could really be interesting. But there's risk here. There's risk. As usual. ALBT halted down. It needs to hold above 540. If not, it's in trouble. Can I get filled? What is it going to be? I got about a 14 center stop here, small size. It needs to get back over 75. Through 75, we can retest 6 and potentially break 6 if it means business. If it doesn't mean any business, then this is as far it'll probably go in the short term. But watching, I'll add through 75 if it gets through 75. Back down, stopping out. Yeah, that's as far as it was gonna go there. 670 high and back down. So back on the sidelines. $0.14 risk. Titanic. Damn. To the depths it goes. Well, I guess this is where I should be going short below 40, right? Save? Save short in there more than likely. Getting rewarded. I think I take my green and run. At least it consolidated a little bit below 40 to give us a chance to get out, because sometimes they just teleport down into these levels and you kind of get caught, right? In at 60, or in at 55, out at 509, and you're really getting destroyed in the trade. So not much really hitting the scans as of right now, and we can look through some of the hotter stocks. ABLT, ALBT. That one isn't really looking much better. SMJF. HCTI. This is like a mockery of what I'd like. I don't like to keep saying that, but BFLY. Did we have a trade here? Yeah, we had a trade on this one earlier. Oh yeah. So it pushed through 75. We had 95, right? Not too bad there. It really seems to be holding this mid 50s level. It came down there again and held up. Nice. So some people might have took it. And highs of 80 out of that bounce. Not too bad. The trade doesn't see. I mean, there's this trend. I have this trend line here, but in the context of the 5-minute chart being up so much, might be a little tough to jump in here. But maybe there's some buying algos there, some hidden buyers. Some big buying might be hidden in that range, potentially. KAPA. Yep, I'm taking my $80 and I am. You know what? I have no excuse. I should have been streaming this entire last week and a half, since I did 1 week and then went into the depths, right? It's lack of, if I'm to like really critique myself, it's lack of discipline, lack of consistency. It's not good. I'm never gonna not say that it's like you have to call yourself out, but the pastor is the pastor is going through it. I'm gonna shut it down here, and that'll be it. Pastor is going through it. Oh, man. Where's the fix? Freedom Trader, what's up, man? It's been a long time. Hope you're doing well. Hope I guess I can't say newborn anymore, but hope the young one is growing nice and well. Guys, Freedom Trader has been around for like 7 years, like the entire life of the channel. AEHL, moving up a little bit. This one is sub $1. No. I mean the youngest one. I think that was like 5 years ago, or maybe like 3 years ago already. Time is going so fast. But good to hear. Good to hear. Everyone is doing well. Ross is green, $61. I'm looking at the YouTube comments here. I'm done for the day. I'm gonna just take the small green here. I gotta head out soon. If it, yeah, I guess I could say this. If any of you are in Miami, right? Message me in the Discord. Pastor is gonna be in town. The pastor is gonna be in town. Maybe we can do like something small, like a small meetup with a couple people, if possible. We'll see. Bro, Freedom Trader, man, I tell you, the market, man, the ups and downs, the swings. NDRA. Uh, whoa. Oh, okay, I see. So small curl back up. I thought it broke over the whole dollar. It's just curling back up a little off the lows. Yeah, this trading thing, I tell you, man, it's been quite the ride. The highs are very high, the lows are very low. But I think we can all say that, it's been for the better, right? For all of us, really, because the market has so much opportunity. Even if you're somebody who hasn't been green, like for anybody out there, there's something great about being a part of it and working towards getting to where we need to be, right? And this is also why people want me to go live more, is because when I'm done, I always give a small something to boost the morale of the people. But yeah, being able to be a part of the market and come in every day and have the chance to be able to make money is it's quite special, especially for some of the craziness that we have seen and the crazy stocks we have seen over the time. So for me, I'm kind of in a place where I'm really just, hunkering down, going slow, small size. I'm not really sizing up as much. I really want to continue to wait until there's like better consistency in the momentum, because again, I can pull up archives of how stocks were moving, in the past versus a day like today. and it's like a night and day difference. So for me, it's just grinding it out on small numbers, doing all the responsible things in my actual lifestyle. I'm definitely not spending as much money as I used to. I've had some very expensive months in the past. Like the money aspect is crazy. Like when I look back at some of the stuff like we were like spending on it, we've always been responsible, but still, versus now, like my budget, for example, it's like I'm like back down to like living like normal. Not, you know, the big purchases that you might have like in your normal life. They're like, hey, taking it easy, investing into large caps, taking it slow. By the way, we have a dip. The overall market is in a strange place, right? Like we have some individual stocks that are down significantly that are strong companies, but the entire market itself is up fairly high. And so whilst I've been buying this pullback on some strong individual stocks, I haven't went all in because the SPY was still so high, right? And in case we were to get a bit of a short-term crash or correction, 10, 15%, didn't want to be in super aggressively to then not have any bullets or ammunition. So yeah, I traded XEVL yesterday. I was green, but not big green. I was only green like 300. Um, at my highs I was green 300. I ended like 195. I kept it a small size, but my real issue with that stock is that I didn't trade it until like one. I didn't trade it to like 130. I missed like all of it actually. Yesterday I wasn't able to be here up until later in the day, like later in the morning. AEHL actually is moving up here. There's a halt level at 98. If it halts up, I might. Well, the halt is 102 now. If it halts up, I might take a trade for the culture. The dip and rip culture. But if I saw that stock, I think, like I was telling Steve, right? If I saw the stock, like, if I was here, rather, if I was here and saw the stock at like 85 cents or whatever, I probably could have gotten into a groove where I could have sized up to like 8K size, maybe more. And it could have been a different kind of a day. Would have definitely been aiming for a few $1,000s at that point. Penny stocks have been doing okay. The halt levels increased. I was telling Steve, right, like if we're to be like full on family men, right? Like if we were like wife, kids, and like you're paying for a mortgage or two, it'll be tight, like because then when you're seeing like your cash go down like a little bit, like it's like the worst feeling, when you're used to just seeing just aggressive increase. So it's like trade this that's like the slower patches in trading will have you like think about everything. And we had these conversations years ago, right? I remember we had an individual in the chat room named Red to Green who was already a family man working at his day job and would also trade. and was making more in his trading than he was at his job at that time. And he was like, "Man, like, aren't you guys worried?" And we're like, "Why would we be worried, right?" Like, you know, the conclusion to sum it up was, we're taking on a risk, which, anytime you're going to take on a new venture, a new business, a new skill, a new, whatever, there's going to be an opportunity cost and there's going to be risk. And I think for all of us, again, who are traders, whether you're green or not, like if you've ever made money or not, you have to be very satisfied with the opportunity that is here. And even if there's an opportunity cost, the 5 years, 10 years that you spent trading, you could have been an astronaut, let's say, or a doctor or whatever, heck, a lawyer. Your time is going to great use, right? I mean, right now I can even manage my own portfolio because I understand the emotions in the market, you know? And as long as my mindset doesn't change, which I don't think it should, I will never lose, because at a certain level, it just becomes simple, you know? Okay, SPY is down 50%. I'm buying the SPY all in. I'm not retiring anytime soon. The odds are is that in X amount of time, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, the SPY is going to be at all-time highs, making new highs again, you know? This pullback here actually could be interesting. So, in the grand scheme of like trading and the risk that are involved with trading, I think it's 100% worth it. But you still have to make sure when it's going really well that you manage. I'm gonna take a starter here, that you manage yourself and you manage your finances, and you don't do anything crazy, because if you're living an aggressive lifestyle, you could have problems. It's a good starter. It's a good position there. Now, what's the difference between that trade and like a year ago, right? I'm in there like 2,000 shares versus like 20,000 shares. $40 versus $400 is the difference in a trade like that. So once it gets like consistently, like once I'm seeing like consistently hot momentum, and I already have this mindset to like go more than what I did before. So like the moment like the day this market becomes hot again, like that's the day I'm gonna be making 10,000 a day every single day. But I'll wait. I mean, I'm doing other things in the meantime too. I'm not just like not doing nothing, right? That would be crazy. You got to keep yourself productive and continue to have your money work for you and execute in every potential option that you have to do well, you know. So, but at the same time, once the market does come back around in terms of hot momentum every day, the money that I made in the past is going to be nothing compared to what I can do. I'm gunning to overtake Save, and I think once the momentum is right, man, that's the kind of level I'm gunning for. It'll be smiling at me, and I'll be able to reach out and grab it. Bigger drop here below that previous, support. Yeah, it's something that you'll hear Ross say from time to time if you watch his recaps every now and again, that It's a blessing to be a part of the opportunity. It might give a red to green here. It's possible. It's kind of holding up against that 92 level we just had, despite the bigger drop there to 88. I'm a little late. I probably should have been in to have a little bit of a tighter risk. Yeah. I kind of fumbled that. I could have probably still got 92 there. It's a good push. It might go all the way back to 1, actually. It's... Damn, I should have been in. I should have been in. Okay, nice move. 99, there's one. I kind of was a little slow at, like, recognizing it. Well, we could have a double top here, so you got to watch out for that drop back down again. Halt levels at 109. Over 1, we could see 105 if it's, you know, if it's about the business here. Time looks good. If it does pull back, it still will be pretty healthy. 02 and back down. As long as we don't, like, fall out from underneath. '96, '96, '95. Time. It could still be healthy, but waiting, watching, waiting. I'm gonna try 95, tight stop. Okay, all right, I'll take a bit of a loss there. Our 5-minute candlestick is really struggling. There's still a minute and 45 seconds left, but if we break down here, then could be a longer pullback for sure. Yeah, a longer pullback, a bigger pullback. 94, 93, like the last line in the sand there. We're seeing 89, 88. So I kind of missed, I kind of missed the push there in the red to green. 92 on this like area here was like the last chance to be in before the breakout. Without chasing it, I'd say. So it's a double top. Despite making a new high, we kind of, I'd sum it up as a double top. If there's a cup and handle, it'll be on a bigger time frame. But I kind of have to go here, so I'm gonna shut it down and take the close to $100 somewhere there, and walk away. Wow, it's coming down even more. And there's some buyers. It's all over the place here. Yeah, so for those of you that came in on YouTube today, I'll catch you guys around, and I can definitely say that there's not gonna be a live stream. There's not gonna be a live stream on Monday. No live stream on Monday. Actually, is today Friday? No, today's Thursday. Yeah, no live stream on Monday, and I think no live stream on Friday, tomorrow. I don't think I'll be able to do one. But I'll catch you guys on Tuesday and the rest of the week. I'll have the streams. 9 to 5. Oh goodness. You see, if I was back at a 9 to 5, I would say that. I wouldn't be afraid to like say that if I if I was doing a 9 to 5. 9 to 5. If I were to start a job at like, anywhere, the first video I'd make would be me in uniform on a thumbnail. All right. Best Buy. Best Buy. If I was supposed to go for a 9 to 5 job again, I'd never do a regular job like, Best Buy or one of those places. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Well, it could make sense for some people depending on what they're trying to do, their schedule, all these different variables. But for me, I'd go for something that can at least pay me like $40 an hour. Those jobs are there. They're there. If you're like, but usually you're going to be doing some sort of trade or something. I wouldn't be doing like a $15 an hour job. That's like just too little, This thing is back up again. You see, Victor should ban you just for saying that, bro. Come on. But I do like a little bit of jokes, so. You know what? There are some buyers that came in when it bounced back up. There were like 5 buyers of like 40,000, 50,000 shares, maybe a little bit more. So there was some sort of buyer here. Well, if you're still dialed in for trades, locked in for trades, then you could have took the entry 91, 90, and it's a good move here. I need to leave or I'll be distracting the people here. 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. JB saying the pastor is no longer a pro. The pastor is still a pro, brother. Don't worry. We will show the results once again in due time. Bro, I'm the most real trader that there is, though. Holy smokes. Who else would engage with the audience, you know, in such a real way? In a real way. I'm going to be in Miami. That's why I'm not going to be here. If for those of you who really want to know. I mean, I was mentioning it earlier. I'll be in Miami for a couple days. There's some of you might know of the conference. There's a conference going down there, a trading conference. There's going to be a ton of traders, massive traders, speaking and talking about their trading journey and sharing some of what they do. And so there'll be a good opportunity to learn. I've been to this conference before. It's called Traders for a Cause. What was it, 2023 in Vegas? There's usually some pretty big heavy hitters. That's where I met Humble Trader, by the way. And a couple of other cool people, Clover trading guys that are usually there, like Kyle Williams and the Laptop Legend. I don't know if Tim Sykes will be there, but it'll be cool to meet all these people again and, you know, listen in. And, you know, even if you're taking away just one small thing, 2 things, 3 things from the conference, you know, sometimes that alone can help you so much, whether with technical analysis, fundamental analysis, or just mental, you know, mental things, right? So the stock is all over the place. A pretty big drop right there. I ghosted the channel and the MMU members. No, man. The students are covered every day because it's not just myself. You know, there's also other mentors. For example, Marcelo. Marcelo is there every single day in the chat room. Not on YouTube, but in the chat room. He's there every day. So even if it's not my voice, and you know, sometimes I'll go and listen to Marcelo myself, right? Marcelo is if you guys ever seen Marcelo come live on this channel before, man, Marcelo, every time Marcelo comes live, he's like up 10, 15K every time on the channel. It's insane. So even for me, like listening into Marcelo is like pretty good. How's the month going? The month is fairly flat right now. We're pretty much sideways. I think we've had 7 green days and like 8 red days. Let me see. I've traded mostly in my Webull account. Hold up. Let me pull it up here. It's a flat month. Let's see. Hold on one sec. Let me just. How do I pop this out again? Detach. And custom February 1 to February 26. It's a flat month. Yesterday was like the best day actually of the month, I'd say. But again, I missed like most of that move, you know. I missed like a ton of that stock. This might be my second or maybe third day trading in the other account. And I don't think we lost any. I think we were just one day we're down $17 here. And then like another day of like plus or minus like $5. So this account should be like pretty much like small green or flat. I've been like really small size and like keeping it tight. Like I'm done with being down 1K on any day ever. Like if for that to happen right now, you know, I'd have to be like taking a really good setup and it just really like, you know, flush out. It could happen, right? Like these type of areas like this, like if I'm saying, okay, I think we can really get that push up to 110 and then I jump in here, adding to my position with more size. and then this type of red candle comes, then I can be down 1K, very like instantly, really, in one trade. But I haven't been putting out the size, so even if I do add in an area like this, it's pretty much like the trade I took on BFLY, right? Like when I added through the $50, I didn't go up like a couple thousand shares. I just took like 600 shares more. Okay, if we drop down 20 cents, then I'll lose 120 rather than like, really getting destroyed. So I've been just taking it slow. This day where I made 835, I think I did push a little bit more size on a stock that was around $1, 120, but after I built a cushion of like plus 400, then I like increased size a little bit more for a few more trades. Didn't really like just size up for one particular trade or anything like that. Crispy is calling down my phone. This guy, man. Does he see? Does he, Crispy? If you're watching me, this is my monthly P&L, bro. There's no way I'm doing any of what you just messaged me. Oh, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys later. The pastor has to go jump on a flight. I'll catch you guys next time. Man, the lovely markets. It's like despite making a lot of money and like being fairly well off, like I'm kind of going based off of my current P&Ls, right? So I'm just going very chilled. Like I'm not doing any of these craziness, man. I'll catch you guys later.